and it turned out really good. You got it recorded now, Andrew?
I'm about to hit the button.
But let's remember Kira tonight when we pray. Kira's got walking pneumonia. She slept all day yesterday, and so she got home from final exams today. And she had a fever right before her. When that girl's sick, when she got home from school, and when Sherry went to wake her up for supper, she refused supper and went back to sleep. Yeah, that's unusual. That girl eats. And she's gonna eat. Away from her boyfriend saying she wanted. She's still mad at me over her Camaro. Tell her Andrew was with me, so now he's in trouble with her.
He can't drive nothing. Did you break my car?
No, I broke down on me Saturday night, so with it all back Saturday night. No, I didn't wreck it. Put a real good vote of confidence in my drive.
Get in your yellow pole.
I didn't prove it. I went grab a new one.
Tell her that. But we're gonna go to Lord in prayer, and I'm gonna ask Josh if he would stand and take us to Lord in prayer.
Hey, wait, will you remember Braylon and Emmy?
Yeah, let's remember Braylon and Ivy, and they've both been bit by brown recluses.
Your Heavenly Father, God, we just thank you for the opportunity to be back in your house, God, to partake in this Bible study, God, that help us to have the knowledge that you have us to have tonight, God, that you touch all these prayer requests, Lord. There's been deaths and ones who the boys know, God, that you touch Brother Marshall, tonight, God, the sweet God direction to give you the praise, honor, and glory for all.
God, let's also remember Wade and Desiree. He's gone to hear his brother preach. But I don't want to say Wade was going to preach Sunday morning. Wade will not be preaching Sunday morning. It happened. That didn't need to happen, but he done it. That's as far as I'm going into detail about it. Will not be preaching Sunday morning. He will still be here, but he will not be preaching. He said, "Preacher, all we want to know, you want to know, see me in private after service. He needs prayers." Told him, "You've got to overcome. You can't keep falling."
Amen.
You got to overcome. And pray for him. You've got to overcome. That's not here in the meeting. You've got to overcome the trials of this world, things that this world throws at us. But who can give us up to date on where we're at? Guaranteed. I understand we're on the second trumpet, but what I want to know is who can tell me what we talked about last week and what chapter and what verses we're at.
It's going to be 30 minutes of silence, kids.
And why is that? I'll go ahead and I'll do this because it don't look like anything. Last week we discussed the first trumpet being sounded in the book of Revelation, chapter number 8. And Missy's right, the very first verse. And when he had opened the seventh seal, there was a silence in heaven about the space of a half an hour. Now, know why she remembers that so well. is because I said, because of that space of half an hour, a woman couldn't be there for that half an hour.
Okay.
It's a joke. It's a joke. It is a joke. That was a joke. Silence, and then we discussed about the prayers of the saints and how they're going to be laid on the golden altar. And as the prayers of the saints being a memory, refreshing God's memory for you. And why He sent His Son to die on the cross was for you. That is the prayers of the saints that's been bottled up all these years. And see, and now we're getting into the second seal, devastation. It starts the devastation. Devastation.
Amen.
And when we say devastation, we're talking about all unknown fear that you should have. I'm not saying your children ain't saved. I'm not saying my children ain't saved. Saved for certain. We should be concerned about be the generation that has to face this.
Absolutely correct.
We should have a concern in our hearts, because they could be that generation that has to face it. Without knowing Jesus, then they got to face a time to where no longer can you buy, sell, or trade. A mark in your forehead or in your hand. Right hand, if I'm not mistaken, ain't it, brother? I had to take my phone, sorry. If it's not in your right hand or in your forehead, then you can't buy, sell, or trade. Meaning, there's no way you can buy food. That should concern you enough to have your children in church. About Jesus.
Amen.
And they learn that He died on the cross for our sins. And they learn how they don't have to go through that terrible day, those 7 years. The 7 years. Brother Ricky, that should scare us enough that we don't want Hannah or Ezra or Amy to go through this. Put a fear in our hearts. Second trumpet, verse number 8 of chapter number 8. And the second angel sounded, and as it were a great mountain was cast into the sea, and the third part in blood. But I wanted to back up a little. You remember last week I went to the map? What a third part is? A third part became blood. Yeah. A third. So it wouldn't be 72, it'd be 1/3. 33, yeah, 33%. You got something and you take 1/3 of it, it becomes blood. Creek in the mountain somewhere, reach down and scoop it and drink. You scoop it, you're drinking blood. What is taking place is you're now involved into what is called I call it the rotten years of the tribulation. See, there's the first 3 years in tranquility. I mean, it was the hippies of years ago. Peace, man. That's what's going on. Woodstock. You know, love and be happy and be married. And I'm trying to hold back. I'm trying to teach. I'm not trying to preach. Go ahead and tell you something. If it wasn't for Woodstock, we wouldn't be in the mess we're in today. If they would have stopped Woodstock years ago, we're in today. It started it all. Laying up there in the field naked, getting drunk, high, and let's just be blunt. If they was having sex with one woman, then they just get up, walk over to another lady laying down, and have sex again. And that started it. Up until then, they'd never heard of anything called Woodstock. Hey, September, what'd you say, 18th of 1969? 69. How many years ago was that? 47 years. 7 years. Day. And what's coming is the judgment of what we've done today. Amen. Part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life, and a third part of the ships were destroyed. Of the angels sounded a star from heaven. I know we went over all this last week, but I wanted to back up a little bit because we sort of rushed through this. Fell upon the third part of the rivers, on the fountains of the water. The name of the star is called wormwood. Part of the waters became wormwood. Of the waters made bitter. The fourth angel sounded, and the third part of the sun was smitten. The moon and the third part of the stars. So the third part of them was darkened. Shone not for a third part of it. And the night likewise. And behold, and I beheld and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, Woe, 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 inhabitants of the earth, by reason of the other voices of the trumpet, angels were which are yet to sound. Here, and I want to talk right here about. I got some pretty good friends that I've met through the years doing the kind of work I do. Every April, they leave North Carolina to Alaska. August. April to August. They don't even work when they're here. September, carry a job here. $1,000 doing the same thing I do in that short amount of time. People do that is because of how long the days are. Alaska, during the summertime, days are like 16 hours long. So, and towards it's all up there around 18 to 20 hours. And they work constantly, 7 days a week, like that. And hey, wouldn't that be, I mean, that'd be awesome to come back in September and not have to work until April. 6 months on, 6 months off. But why don't they stay through the winter? He does the opposite. One day up there, they've only got like 8 hours of sunshine. 8 hours, is that? About a 24-hour day. 12 and 12. You think about that. Could you imagine the sun only shining for 8 hours of that day? 24 hours, that's a 1/3. A quarter, that's a third. I wish on that day we could be teaching this lesson there. Yeah.
That's also the time of year they have the highest suicide rate.
Go ahead, Mark. We're holding this on Sunday.
I didn't turn
It's also,
You got it.
it's also been said that that's the highest suicide rate.
Yeah. The dark. what it'd be like. This is gonna happen, and it's gonna be forever. In that time period. Please. Got questions? Ask. Everybody said why. Last week, we all got involved in it, and it went real good. All right, we're gonna move on to chapter number 9, verse number 1. And the fifth angel sounded, fall from heaven unto the earth, giving the key of the bottomless pit, the unlocking of the abyss. What is the bottomless pit?
Like a fire.
It's
Like a fire.
a lake of fire. You need to adjust his a little bit. Well, that's what you did. All right, as Ricky said, it's a lake of fire. Carol said hell. They're two separate places. The microphone, Misty, Steve needs the microphone.
Hell will be done away with. Hell will be done away with.
Hell will be done away with. To burn up. Because at one point, Josh asked me, I believe it was last week, after church, one service, he asked me, he said, is hell and lake of fire two different places? The Bible says hell will give up with that which is in it. Judged. And then they will be cast into the lake of fire, which burneth forever. Along with death and hell. Of the lake of fire. See, right now, the lake of fire is locked up. You are lake of fire. That is the last judgment. At the great white throne judgment. Now, I'm not trying to get ahead of myself. That's over towards the end of Revelation. But that's what takes place.
You remember 1980? It's like Ellen's correction.
I was born in 81.
Anyway, last year working on pipeline and in Washington, in the sun. So we do that.
They get y'all sitting there. But what Ricky's saying is, when Mount Helen did erupt in 1980, I've learned about it in history book. I was not alive. How many was alive in 1980 and remember that taking place? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. God, remember that. There's a reason I don't remember that. I wasn't even born yet. But it did blacken the sun. I've heard Brother Rick Harris speak of it. I've heard him speak of it. And that would be an eerie thing to go through. An eerie thing. But the bottomless pit is now unlocked with the fifth angel. 2, he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose smoke out of the pit as the smoke of a great furnace. And the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. Now that's a hot pit. Real hot pit. And verse number 3, and there came out of the smoke locusts, earth, And to them was given power as the scorpions of the earth have power. Who hates every 7 years when the locust comes?
That's the same thing for what?
Huh?
That's the same thing?
That's a different type of locust. The locust that went against Pharaoh is what we get now. That make an irritable sound every 7 years. You try to lay in bed at night sleeping, there's about 10 million of them out there in the tree somewhere going, I mean, just sends chills, and it's all night long, all day long. It never lets up. And I am so thankful when winter hits and those locusts are gone. How many has heard the locusts? How many has not heard the locusts? Well, I don't think you get them in California.
We get grasshoppers.
But we got grasshoppers here. That's a beautiful thing.
That's, we said that.
Locust it comes here every 7 years. And you can even see on the trees that they'll start to kill trees where there's so many of them on. And then when they die, it's just this hard shell up there on a tree. I've caught locusts when I was a kid. I'd catch them, and I'd tie a string around them, like a June bug. When I was a kid, we'd catch June bugs. We'd tie a string on them. We'd run them around doing this. Yeah. Well, you know, back then we didn't have all them Nintendo Xboxes. We didn't have. Not every kid had a cell phone. We had to use. We had cable TV. It only done about 20 channels. It didn't do 500 or something. No, Joe, I don't remember black and white. But when I couldn't catch a June bug, I'd catch one of them locusts and I'd tie a string to it. It was a pretty cool sound when I was a kid. But that's not the type of locust. You don't want to catch this locust. Given to it is the power of a scorpion. So now not only is it that irritating sound, a creeper. Pick somebody I can pick on. Andrew, what's the one thing that would scare you half to death? If it happened right now. I know what it is for me. I'll just use myself. Yesterday, my boss at work, and I told the men about it last night at the men's meeting. As everybody knows, yesterday was my birthday. I got through the whole day and no one thought. Sitting in the office, and he says, Doug, why don't you go out there to the shop and check and make sure the men are still working? Got to the shop, there's one thing that I'm terrified of. Is a snake. And I'm not trying to be funny, but it is funny. I know it is. They were working, so I stopped them and started talking to them. He come through the garage door and he says, hey, Doug, happy birthday. And by the time I turned around, he threw that rubber snake at me and it wrapped around my neck. I thought I had to clean out my breeches. That is something that terrifies me. And every time I've been to a beach, Brother Ricky, I always look in the sand real good for. You say, well, they're not at Myrtle Beach. You positive about that? So yeah, scorpions here, but I know what they look like here. I don't know what the beach bugs look like. But what I'm getting at is, if I'm at the beach, it's a scorpion I'm terrified of. If I'm in the mountains, it's a snake or a bear. So now all of a sudden you're going to have scorpions that fly and look like a locust. Some of you are used to catching. Ain't that something tonight? See what I'm saying? What I'm trying to say tonight is why we should be so worried about our children's salvation. Amen. I don't want my children to face this. My daughter's 15, my son's 13. I don't want to face it. You know something, Brother Ricky? I always thought the worst day of my life was going to be when my daughter started driving. That day's come and went. And it wasn't that bad. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. But the worst of all that I now could be in my mind is that the rapture takes place. And she's still here to face this. That's why I've taken the last month to go start going over all this. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads. You know what that's called? A carnivore. A meat eater. No grass, no nothing like that. Not a tree. Now when they're here. But when they come with this, they're coming to kill people. The ones that do not believe in God. You said, well, God's judgment is pretty hard. If He loves us so much, listen, He loved you enough to give His Son to die on the cross. He made a way to escape when you do not have to go. Amen. Whether you or your children are going to face it, it is your choice. He made it your choice. Say you've got to go through this. He said, no, I'll make a way where you don't have to go through it. So if you're making the choice by not accepting Him as Savior, if that's what it might be. And to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented. And their torment was tormented of a scorpion, which he striketh a man. Not to kill him, to torment him. 5 months. How long is locusts here when they do come? 5 months. About 5 months. From about June or May to about the end of September, somewhere maybe middle of October. And you think about that. 5 months they're here now. And they drive us nuts now. Could you imagine every time you walk out your door one for 5 months? Go ahead, Rick. Yes, you got it.
You can actually look that up.
What a scorpion bite? You know what it's like? It burns. It hurts. Yeah. One thing I hate to be done is stung by bees. Boy, it sends chills first, then, boy, I just get mad. So imagine about 150 to 100 times worse. See all these small kids, and I don't even have to face that. Amen. And in those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, flee from them. Could you imagine being in so much torment you just rather die? That's what people are going to be facing during this time. POWs from the Vietnam War and from World War I and World War II and all these wars, POWs, as they were being tortured, they said they wouldn't give up their country. They was being starved, they was being beat. They was held prisoner in nasty situations. They had to lay down and sleep in their own feces. POWs. And by doing this, they was, when you talk to a lot of them that were POWs, prisoners of war, and they'll tell you, I'd rather die than go through what I was going through. Why didn't they just turn code and blab all? Is because they knew there'd be no change. They still have faces, but they still didn't die. They do just enough. Something this week. I don't know how many watch the History Channel. Yeah, I've been watching Roots. I've been watching Roots. They got a new Roots out on History Channel. I've been watching. It's not that old one. It's a new one. I ain't even seen Willie Goldberg in this. But I've been watching it, and last night in the second one of it, and I can't remember that guy's name, but his master wanted to change his African name. And it's Kumti Kinte. And it's actually his master's wife coming up with the name. But when he refused to acknowledge it, and refused to accept it, and refused to say, I am Obi, they tied him to a post. His master stood back with it and started with it. What's your name, boy? He kept saying, however y'all said that, I don't know. Myself, I like Toby a lot better. A lot easier to say. But they began to beat it. It really showed a lot of blood during that time. The new one shows the middle of his back and it's split open. And the stripes coming up down his back, the blood splattered on the ground. All before a name change. And finally, there at the end, in a low voice, he said, why did he all of a sudden change his name? Why was he willing to change his name? Because he couldn't take the pain. And by doing that, if you watch the movies, you know that by doing that, it's on family attorney. Because then he denied his birthright name. But he couldn't take the pain. I guarantee you, if you would ask, I don't know if it's a true story, I don't know, and really I ain't getting into that matter. But if you could ask someone that ever happened to be, the only one I know of ever did get cut out of was Jesus. But being beat with a whip. During that time, if they just assumed to them dead. There's a few times my dad would get on that belt, and I'd assume to been dead and take what I was getting. Oh, I deserved every lick I get. But when you get hit with the metal part of the bone, it hurts. Right? And that part when you catch and rip. There's many times I got up, my shirt bent from blood. My dad, hey, he's a great preacher. He also made us walk a straight line. DJ made me glad he was little back then. And Uncle Kenny just liked to pet DJ. DJ had big ears back then. And but DJ was young. He was 5, 6 years old, I guess. How old was you in 2000? What year was you born?
91.
91, you was 9 years old. So, but when I was 9 years old, I remember getting up and having blood running off my backside and off my back from whippings. Some of you sitting in here saying, well, that was mean, that was cruelty. I see that need.
Amen.
and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying beat, I'm not saying bring the club, they need that correction. There's a lot of kids in this church that are smart alecks need to be backhanded through the mouth a couple times that realize that they don't have to disrespect elders the way they do.
Amen. Amen.
Oh, boy, that one get like, I'm getting a look. Not only from kids, some of the parents are getting a look. But what I'm getting at, if you'd asked these people that had to go through this, they'd assumed to have been dead. The people that's going to go through this, they wish they could die. But they can sleep from it. So they got to live with torment. You know one thing I always knew about when Daddy was done whooping? It's getting petty. Yeah. But he wouldn't pay me too much. He'd say if I paid you too much, remember why you got whooped.
You know, back, I guess when men are here, Joe, 60s and 70s,
Joke's girl.
both Joe was wrong, but I mean, that's what I mean. It's, I've heard of DSS.
Nope.
Never heard of it. I mean, I guess they had it. I don't know if they even had it or not. We got whippings like we supposed to got, like we're supposed to get whipped. Nowadays they don't.
I got one about.
And you can see the difference in, I can see the difference in when I was growing up and the kids today. Because my daddy wasn't afraid to use the belt. I even got Ricky with it sometimes. So, but nowadays there's so much DSS involved. Afraid to touch their child. They're afraid to. They're afraid to even flick its nose because they'll call DSS. Somebody's going to jail to flick the child's nose. My daddy, I guess, would be in jail nowadays. He'd probably be growing up nowadays.
Yeah, I would be too.
You would too, yeah.
What I'm getting at this, don't get me wrong, but the reason, what I'm trying to get you to understand, the reason this has got to come, has been fulfilled. Did you know how it speaks of if you don't correct your child, if you don't spank your child, that you don't love them? Adam, you're sitting there amen, but do you think he loves you when he wants you? Do you? Do you really believe he loves you?
Yes, I
Do
do.
you get mad? How do you love and get mad?
I'm completely honest. I mean, you can love, but then you're mad.
Break this down where y'all don't think I'm being one of them that's saying you need to beat your children. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying, correction is a big part of raising a child. And that's why you've had Columbine High School, you've had, I can count on one hand how many times I've given kids a whooping in their life. I haven't given them a whooping over every little thing. But I've given them a whooping when they needed it. And by that, I love it. And this, to be honest with you, I love this part. By correcting them when they were this small, now that they're here, I don't have to correct them that much. I had to start down here. Kira got her first spanking. She's 3 days old. 3 days old. She cried, kept crying. We give her a bottle. That didn't work. We changed her diaper. That didn't work. We walked the halls with her. That didn't work. It was just wham, 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 wham. I called my granny. I was done. I was ready to take her and drop her off somewhere where I could just get some sleep. My granny said, "Let me let you talk to your papa." And I said, "Yeah, papa, what do? He said, "Let me tell you what I done with your mom. She done the same thing." He said, "I just raised up her little hind legs and I barely hit her, just enough where she knew. He said, I tapped her on her little leg. That hurt you. But just enough to get her attention. And I said, Donna, that's enough. I said, well, I'll try anything right now. We gotta have some rest. I lifted her up on her little leg. I tapped her on the bottom and I said, Kira, that's enough. She shut up like a radio clock. Went sound asleep. And we really never had that issue with her again. 3 days old. How many of you saying, well, that's cruelty to whoop your child at 3 days old? I didn't whoop her. All I done was get enough. I just barely touched her. Attention. I was tired of walking floors. I was tired of fixing bottles. We was going through form. She was taking them bottles. She drank 2 of those 4-ounce bottles in 5 minutes during that. You can't tell me a 3-day-old will eat that much. But I got her attention. Then when she was about 6 or 7, I mean, she had a few little. She tested me on something else. She's about 6 or 7, and she's smart enough. Like the way I see some of you children do your parents. And all I done was I just popped her in the mouth. I didn't hit her hard, didn't bring the blood. I just popped her, let her know. Hey, just touched it. No. That was the end of it. But it had to be started down here. I remember when JD got it. Yeah. Now there was one time JD got one. Now this was back when JD was still walking. It was pretty rough. It's when he raised his hand to his mom. I said, I won't allow one of my children to ever get their mother. And I always said, if they ever go back, it's just the place of a grown adult. And JD done that. He was about 8 years old. And I wore him slap out. Dude, you gotta respect your parents. And that's why you said, well, preacher, I just get on about what you gotta do with your children. Because this all leads up to why this is coming. It's because during the last few generations, this has been dropped. They will tell you they're a smart aleck, and they know it. I'll just prove this. How many of you kids say, well, I'm a smart aleck and I know it? Honest. Honest. But
I'll see.
see, and how many would say, and I'm proud of it. See, that's where it's bad. It means there's no respect for nobody. And that's what we've been doing. And you, come here, buddy. Come here. It is not her fault. How is it not her fault? Wow. And been laughed off. Would you agree? And by doing that, that's probably getting smarter. And see that? This is about my second daughter. Can I do you like I did Kira? You're a smart off to me, you might get it. Huh? But see, that's a shame. That's why this is coming, because they're in the generation gap. We've allowed it. And you can't blame them. You have to blame yourself. The child will let you go. That's why this day's coming. We allow this. And I'm not taking on Elizabeth, bless her. One year, and I'm gonna move on. One year, we're gonna look back. We're gonna go from being proud of it to our grandkids, because they were proud, was allowed to be proud of it. They're gonna let their children go another step farther. When you're 80 years old trying to get through there, and your grandkids will stick out their foot and trip. And the parents will sit back and laugh at you struggling to get out of the floor. Because of what? And he said they'll get a cane down their throat. But it's because we've allowed it to go to that. Boy, this got completely on a different subject, but it's right with what's going to happen. That's why we got to face this. That's why there's a generation got to face this. It's because we've allowed it to step so far away from God. Tonight, you want to know something? I don't know how many times I've got phone calls. Oh, Nathan's being terrible. Nathan this, Nathan that. You know who's a good child right now? Nathan. Because his legs are broken. He certainly. But this boy, I've watched it. During the last month, they did a flip-flop in. All of a sudden, I see him saying, "Thank you."
Yeah.
Stuff that Nathan used to do good. I see you got it. Go ahead.
I was praying on Nathan a minute. Me and him actually was talking about this. He said that when you got to make play, you give him a chance to think. You can tell when he's changes. Because he slowed down enough. Now he's realized that he's right. Your child has to be put right back. Teaching lessons. Something has to be done.
Can I ask this to you parents? How many concerned? Amy, come here. Oh, she's leaving me. I got you. I love picking this one up because he just lays down on your shoulder. Well, now you parents, you've all got a child. We're talking about the abyss here. We're talking about the bottomless pit, the lake of fire. Take a long look at your child. You want to see them go there? I don't see my child go there. We're reading here where it's being unlocked. This coming Sunday night, Josh is going to step into a spot where he's never stepped before in his life. There's going to be sweat spots all over the top of that ball head. This coming Sunday night, right up there, like I do on Sunday mornings, Sunday nights and Wednesday nights, and like Ray Andrew does, like Wade has. You know, I just point because that's where he says that right there. The gospel, and knowing that you're standing between the living and the dead as you do it.
Yeah.
And every word that comes out of your mouth, you're held accountable for in heaven. If people die and go to the lake of fire and you didn't tell them, you're held accountable because you stood behind that pulpit. So do I want to see anyone die and go to hell? Do I want to see anyone die? No, because I want to tell everybody, hey, get in. He's giving you a waiver. Well, I've been close to preaching several times tonight on this. You know, the Bible should never say a preacher should be out to teach. It's hard to teach. Because when I look at you and I look at all of you, I realize that if I don't say it right, you might be facing this. I know that times, well, you just lay down and go to sleep, don't you? You smell good though. What kind of cologne do you wear? You wear bags. But this baby, you might not think he's paying attention when they're running around. They pay more attention when they're running around than you think. He's happy, maybe I can get her now. You come to me, yeah, you're my girl too. I've done this a million times with kids. But look at these two. But it's all good. All good. But what I'm getting at, Brother Ricky, because of what I preach to these two, if I don't preach them right, and they can wind up going to the fire, it'd be my fault. Right? Then you don't reinforce it at home, then it's your fault.
Yeah.
Remove the burden off me, because you're not reinforcing it, then it's not on me anymore. Sitting in these pews, it's mine. Yeah. That's why I don't want to see none of them die and go to hell. Okay, right here. Give me a hug. I don't know which one just did that, but one of them did. But what I'm getting at, we're not going to go any farther tonight. If we don't get a concern before we get to this point for our children, then we're never going to have a concern. Yep. We've got to have that concern. Now to change gears. The last Saturday of this month, when is that? What day? The what? The 25th. We're going to have an old-fashioned dinner starting at 5 o'clock, benefit dinner, out in the fellowship hall. Starting at 7 o'clock, we'll have benefit singing in here. It is for Josh and Carol to help them. They're going to have to find a new place to live. It's to help them with financially, to help them find a new place.
How we going to change Sunday?
Sunday, what do you mean?
That's the last day.
What, the last day of Sunday? June? Last day of June?
That's the Saturday after Bible school.
Bible school going that
Yeah.
way? Well, then we'll do it the first Saturday of July. No, not the benefit, the fun days. Yeah, the first Saturday of July is when we'll do the fun day for Bible school. Because, there's one thing short. Yeah. But we will have singing that night. We'll have the Reach Out to Jesus Trio, the church. Steve is gonna lead us in the congregation.
How hard do you make?
No, I'm just kidding, Steve. And we're gonna have, Isaac Swells that night. Will be here with us. Dawson Trio thought they was gonna be able to be here, but they're not gonna be able to be.
As well as I'm making that flyers for us, so when email me the flyers, I can print them off.
And she's gonna have some out that way.
Now, dinner plates will be $5 for adults, $3 for children. Then we're gonna take up a lot of offering. We need to raise around $1,200, $1,200 to $1,400. Help them get it their first month and deposit. He said, preacher, why did it? One of our church members.
I was telling the trailer that we'll be coming up in a few weeks. That'd be interesting.
I was looking, and this is how I come up with this amount. For a 3-bedroom, 2-bath mobile home right now, it's $700, about $50 a month. That's very.
When I go about it's 7.
That's about the average rent payment.
It's the only thing so it's right with that.
Outrageous how much rent is these days. Huh? Yeah, you're getting off real lucky at 600. If you got a place, if you're renting a place these days under $600, 600 and under, you got off real good, because most places are $675, $700, $800. I went and looked at a place that I used to rent in Swananoa just to see. When I rented it 6 years ago, or no, longer than that, about 10 years ago, it was $400 a month. It's an old farmhouse that wind blows through the walls on it. And now it's $900 for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. And so we just get behind them. We'll, like I said, we'll do the dinner. What we is bring food, bring covered dish. If you want to bring 100 hot dogs, bring 100 hot dogs. We'll sell hot dogs. If you want to bring spaghetti, bring spaghetti. But we got to have enough food to pay to get for everything. So we're gonna have
I was Wells Church is tell other churches they're all probably gonna be.
and we're gonna get this on the radios. We're gonna have flyers to put out. I'd love to see this place packed out that night. Help them out. Works. Collect microphone, brother.
Yeah.
But that will be coming up. DJ got a microphone, didn't say a word.
I'm good like that. I'm shy.
That will be coming up. Bible school's coming up. And I know we talked about getting the Duncan booth. But it's to be able to get a Duncan booth again this year. But I don't want to take the money away from Josh and Carol. So if we raise enough to get the Duncan booth, that's fine. But if we're at that benefit, we're at $800 and we're needing $400 to meet our goal, the money for the Duncan booth will go to that. I know last year was awesome with the Duncan booth, and we'll do our very best to get it this year. I would rather have our church family take care of it first. Somebody say amen. If I could, I need to see all the men of the church immediately following service. Go pray and come pray. Don't forget to tell someone about Jesus. DJ, will you dismiss us in prayer? You knew this guy.
Well, we're gonna continue on, God, thank you for this Bible study and everything that you've done, and everything you're gonna do, God, we ask that you'll help everybody get home safe and bring them back to the appointed time, God, in Jesus' name, amen.